Okay, so this is what I'm trying to understand here. You've got your ignition cap on the end here, right? So you got a purple wire here, right? You got the red wire here, which is the power. You got the black, which is the ground. You have a gray wire, which I think is the accessory wire, and then you have the green wire, which to my understanding is the starter wire. So this ignition cap fell off of the car the other day when I was testing the ignition with the probe. If you look under the dash here, you can actually see where you can see here where the light is shining, that is where the ignition came out of, right? So if you look, that's where the ignition came out of, where that light is shining real bright. That's the ignition right there. Okay, so this cap down here was connected to that up in there, and that plastic cap is the end of a longer ignition piece. And it fell off during testing, and parts are all over the floor, and I've collected them and I want to put them back together. It looks like the ends are not soldered together. It looks like instead they're being maintained in a crimp of some sort. I haven't figured out what kind of crimp this is or if I can get a replacement. The ends look really worn though. If you look at it, I don't know if, I haven't figured out entirely what I want to do with it yet. I definitely want to try and take those pieces off and put it back together. New starters in the hundreds. So, anyways, but it looks, other than that, it looks to be in pretty good condition. You can see the other side of the cap looks pretty clean. What I would like to show you is that you've grounded the test light here, right? And you stick it to the power, and it lights up, right? That's a good sign. You have a couple options the way I see it. You can actually come over here and try and essentially hot wire it if you wanted, right? You hear that clicking noise? It's like the starter is engaging, but nothing's happening anymore. Whereas in the past, I was getting the car to turn over. Instead I get an orange and a red light on the dash, O and L. The other thing that's been suggested to me is that maybe, possibly, I blew a fuse up in here. So if you look around up in here, you will see I have a number of fuses, 1 through 10. Number 5 looks to be popped, along with number 8 and number 9. Those ones look to be in the worst condition. The rest seem okay. Granted, though, these are all pretty old, so I don't really, I wouldn't be an expert on whether or not. Okay, after reading the owner's manual, it has been made aware to me that orange is a, wow, I can't remember what orange is, but the red light that's coming on at the click is a low battery warning. One other thing that I think is worth noting here that I'm a little baffled by and I'm not really sure what to do with. Two things come to mind. First off, when you open up the compartment here, there's a blue wire. And it's kind of been taped off like this. And I don't really know what it goes to. So, figuring out what this blue wire goes to would be very nice. It looks like it runs in there and then I lose it back up in there. So, I don't know. Any thoughts on what the blue wire does? Would be very nice. The other thing worth noting is this thing, this little cap here. It almost looks like it's a... I'm not really sure, but it is connected to stuff. And it runs this black wire all the way up into here. So I don't know what that does, but it looks like maybe when the glove box closes, not the glove box, but the left side panel, the fuse panel, when it closes, maybe it comes in contact. I checked for metal contact points down here on the panel itself. Nothing, so I don't really know what that is for or what it's meant to indicate. So the blue wire and this contact point are things that got me a little puzzled at the moment. There wasn't a voltmeter, so I have to get one from home this weekend. In the meantime, I'm going to disconnect the battery, and I'm going to try and take these wires off of this end cap so I can put that piece back together. All right.